Hello and welcome to my channel. In case you guys have ever watched this before, I've changed a lot of stuff right now. I'm readjusted how my computer works. I'm using a different microphone. It's a cheaper one right now, but right now it's working better than the one I had. Unfortunately, I spent a lot of money on a microphone that, it wasn't the right one, so I'm going to have to spend a lot more money on a newer one. That will do a lot better job than even this one does. But I wanted to make sure that people actually could hear my voice, and now I think this seems to be working a lot better. You might have to turn your volume up, and if you do, I apologize, but um, I'm not the loudest speaker in the world. So anyway, my channel is about to be redone a little. I'm still working on some logos and working on an introduction for some stuff, but other than that, basically we're about to start a whole new look to the channel, basically, especially since now that YouTube has really changed its format. It's not that bad. It's actually going to be a little helpful, and my life has finally calmed down enough to where I can actually focus a little more on giving talking a little bit more with people on the internet and kind of doing certain things. My room hasn't changed much since last time, neither have I, hopefully. I don't think I have that much. I maybe gained a little weight, but that'll change, hopefully. Anyway, enough about that. Basically, what is about to happen is I'm going to start back. And tomorrow, which just happens to be my birthday, and of course there's other people's birthdays too, but basically what I'm planning on doing tomorrow we're going to have the first of the vlog series that I'm going to do. And basically the subjects, and it could be anything and everything. It's quite interesting. The vlogs are going to be put up twice a day. There'll be one in the morning and one at night. The morning one will basically be probably 15 to 20 minutes. At the end of it, I'm going to give all of my viewers, and that's you watching, a little tidbit. Something you can do, something you can watch, something you can see, some kind of assignment. Basically what I'm doing is going to give you assignments so that when I talk about something, that I'm not just talking and it just going over your head, or you having no idea what in the world I'm talking about. And I thought it would be a nice way to also let you viewers online be able to experience new things and different things, like things that I do every day, because not everybody experiences the same things. And I tend to get into a lot of really different and weird and unusual things too. So it gives you a way to kind of look at things, and then if I talk about them, then you're like, oh, I understand what that is, and I know what's going on, and so you can basically follow along with me, and if you can kind of tell if I'm full of crap, or if I really know what I'm talking about. So originally, I was going to be doing this as a bit of Geek and Sundry's vlog channel, but I'd really, I would love to do that, and I might still do that one time, and I don't mind. I'm not really doing this about money. For me, this is all about doing something I love, and there's so many things I love and enjoy, and I would love to share them with other people so that they can kind of have more experiences, and gets to see if maybe they would like some of the stuff that I do, because you never really know what you're gonna like until you at least get to try it, which is what this vlog is really about. There's only gonna be there's only one today though, because unfortunately last night my mother had a really bad incident. My mom has had knee surgery on both of her knees, and unfortunately because of that, anybody who's had knee surgery knows that for a couple of years after it, you cannot have it's not that you cannot have, it's very dangerous if you do have a bacterial infection form within 2 years, because it takes time for your body to build immunity and to get used to the fact that there's something artificial in it. So basically what happened was that my mom had gone to the doctors and they had found she had gallstones. So they basically ended up having to remove her gallbladder, and that operation went well. The problem with it though was is that then she had a complication with the medicines that she was on, and last night I had to spend the whole night in the hospital. So unfortunately I wasn't able to start my day as I had hoped, and to give you guys this first vlog and give you even, I was hoping by now that you would not only have this first vlog for my channel, but that you would also have the first assignment as well. So it also gave me enough time to kind of think of an assignment too, and so I actually do have an assignment for you guys still. It's a great assignment. It's really something nice, and it's doing something really good for another person. So at the very end of all this, I'm going to give you the assignment to do, and then I'm hoping at least somebody will catch it and say, and we'll do this, because it's doing something nice for somebody who does a lot on YouTube. So, it's a nice thing to do, and I know she'll appreciate it a lot. Anyway, so I've been basically for the last year now, maybe less now, because I can't remember when I did my last video. But basically, I've been going through and trying to figure out what was wrong, because there's been a lot of really kind of weird things going on. I just finally fixed what was wrong with the sound, at least somewhat. I have to end up getting a better microphone. I mean, this one's good, but it's just not that good. And I'm going to have to replace my webcam because, well, I already replaced my webcam that I had once, and now I'm going to have to do it again because, well, I mean, I knew this one didn't record in HD, but it was an HD webcam, and I thought, oh, well, maybe if I had the software, it had a software that could record it, that it would record, but apparently it doesn't. It's only recording in a much lower setting, which is pretty disappointing, but, there's not really much I can do at this moment. I can't really afford anything too big and fancy, but as time goes by, if these videos do well enough, definitely we'll take the money and put it into that, because really any advertising money that comes down to it, I do have a plan for them, but they're not really for me. I mean, some of it probably will be, and only really just because there's some ideas I have for some other stuff, for other content for this YouTube channel that I'm sure a lot of people will like. I have a lot of interests. I have a lot of varied interests, and so a lot of it's going to be sharing some of those interests. I want to wait until at least there's enough people watching to really enjoy this, and for me to finally, and basically I need 2 more pieces of equipment before I'm ready to do it, and it's basically I have to upgrade my microphone, which I have one in mind, and I know exactly how much it is, and I'm working on earning the money for it, and as soon as I get the money for it, it comes here, then I'm going to start switching it and using this one, because this is just I'm using a $10 microphone, okay? I had a $100 one. The problem with the $100 one is, as good as it is, and it is a great microphone, but it only works with a certain software package, and the software package just has nothing with vlogging or anything like that. The other thing is I'm going to have to get at least a better little webcam right now. The one I have right now, it's not that it's bad. It can actually transmit in HD. The problem is like I was saying, is that it just doesn't come with software to record it. So it's really just for teleconferencing and HD, which is really kind of unfair. It's kind of bad, the fact that it doesn't record it. But I figured I would be able to find a way around it, and it turns out no, I can't. So the next step is going to actually be spending some good money and getting a nice webcam. There's one other piece of equipment that I'm really needing to do to really get this channel to what I want it to be, and that's going to be an actual video camera, so I can record some stuff that isn't here on the vlog. At my computer, I can actually sit down in a room and actually show you some of the stuff I love in person, and maybe get you guys interested in some other stuff, or it could also, if you're already interested in some of that stuff, give you a view of some other things. I don't want to give hints out yet. Because I don't really want to say too much. I mean, I've been, and I've even been thinking about maybe doing. I thought for a while about maybe doing a Kickstarter to see if I could raise a little bit of money. I don't really need a lot, and I don't feel really comfortable with taking other people's money, even for something like this. I mean, this is something I want to do so that you guys have a chance to experience new things, just like I do a lot. Because it's a really wonderful thing to be able to kind of experience new and greater things. And if you haven't guessed it, I am a gamer, and I mean Gaymer, which means I'm gay and I am a gamer. I do all kinds of stuff. I'm really geeky, so you never really know what's gonna end up coming up. I might give you an assignment, hey, watch an episode of Doctor Who. I may give you an assignment, one day, watch this, look at this piece of art and let's talk about it. And put some comments about, down below about what you think about it. You never really know quite what's going to happen. I might even point you to other people's channels, because one of the things I think is that, as much as I can do great, a lot of people already do. And, they deserve some respect, and they also deserve, some more traffic, Now, I mean, I would love to have a lot of traffic, and I would love to do some more. Just some quick background, if this is the first thing you're seeing about me. Basically, I'm right now working on a degree for basically a computer science degree. I'm trying to get into game programming. I mean, I already know how to program. I'm really good at it. I'm just trying to get basically a little bit more help and learning stuff that's going to be good for learning to actually being a very effective game programmer and game designer. Now, I've played games all my life. I mean, I've even made games, quite a few. The first game I ever made, I was 5 years old. I had no idea what programming was, and I actually managed to not only create a really good game. It was a text adventure game, because back then that was pretty much what you were going to see, especially on the computer that I had at the time, which was an Atari 600, or was it a 1200X something? But yeah, I mean, it was a very old computer. The computer I had had cartridges. You had to type in every program, because there was no, well, at least the one we didn't have like a disk drive of any kind, so you couldn't really save anything, because the basic was just on a cartridge you plugged into the computer, and so you typed in programs and stuff. And I actually learned how to program actually from the programs that we had gotten from some magazines. Learned all kinds of stuff from these magazines, and actually it was a really good tool from when I was young. But then again, when I was young, games weren't really all that sophisticated. Now they really are very sophisticated things. You need to have fairly good graphics. You need to have much more interactivity. You need much great music and all kinds of stuff. So I'm still working on that, and I was working on that a year ago. Unfortunately, while I was working on it, my grandmother passed away, and things have gotten a little difficult. But I'm still on track with that, and I'm very happy. I'm hoping that one day, there'll be people who will watch this will one day know me as a great designer, and that you'll be playing my games, whether they're board games or card games or whatever they are. And as you can guess, a lot of the assignments probably will be maybe about a game, or they'll be about a certain design program or something. You never know. Like I said, you never know. And mostly, I think it's a great tool to be able to let me be able to explore things more with you. I've been seeing a lot of I've been exploring some YouTube channels over the last year to kind of figure out what exactly I wanted to do with my channel. And so I saw enough to see basically that that's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to show you people something. I want to show everybody in YouTube something new, something different, and things I love, and things you might have explored, maybe you haven't, I don't know. But at least you're going to get to see what I have done. I thought several times I thought really hard about actually doing a Kickstarters. And like I said, I just felt really bad about the idea of taking anybody's money because, because I can earn my own money. I don't really need it, but at the same time, it's doing these videos and stuff can be expensive, especially with really good equipment. And I could give you guys views of certain things. One of the things I've been wanting to do for a while basically had to do with board games and card games and such. I saw basically what inspired me was more than just my love of games, because I do love games, especially board and card games. But I had been watching Tabletop by Will Wheaton and his friends, and I thought, this is a really great format. But the problem with it, but the thing that's kind of, to me, that kind of is not the best, is that they spend all this money for this gorgeous area and stuff, but they don't, part of it, what I always thought was so disappointing, was that one person gets got a piece of tape at the end. It was kind of anticlimactic, but they didn't really have the budget for anything small. I managed to find a really good site to get some trophies for it, and I thought, this would be really cool to do something like Tabletop, and do something where you're going to get, where people can play games, get trophies, and then at least even if you don't win, then you're gonna get something special. Because I think it's an experience. You should be able to walk away with something, and not just like a little mug. Even if it's an amazing mug, it's something a little more than a mug or a piece of tape or a photograph, but something that you really can play along. And the number two thing was, I thought it's great having the celebrities there, but I thought, wouldn't it be more fun actually to have average people who you don't know who they are, not somebody who's you've seen them in this TV show, or that you've seen them in this or that, but instead that this is somebody you've never met, you've never known. And also, on top of it, I thought it would be actually great to actually be able to look inside the people's heads to know what they're thinking when they take their turns. So I figured one of the things we could do is slow down the process a bit. And because I think Will Wheaton has a really good idea, but I think we can chop it up and people won't mind that much. It might not be perfect, but we could chop up a game into segments and at least show people kind of what it's like to play this game, because that's the whole point of like Tabletop. And also and I hadn't really seen anything like that. I didn't, in fact there is another series 2 that I must admit that is also influencing this, and it's a bunch of series on this channel called Watch It Played. The man who runs the channel has done really great videos about board games, mostly. Yeah, actually I think they're all board games so far he's done. and they've been fairly complex, and they've been a lot more complex than, like, for instance, the games that they do on tabletop. And I thought, this is really interesting, because this is what I was kind of looking for, was to do something like this. And at first I was thinking, oh well, maybe I shouldn't do this because this person's doing something, and I would be just kind of doing the same thing. But then I realized what I can do is I can take the ideas of both these two and actually and some of my own ideas, and actually create something that's very similar to both tabletop and something that's closer to the Watch It Played series, and actually show you some games that are not either one. Because it's all good and nice getting a review about a game, but a review can only tell you so much. And I have that problem too, where it's like, oh, here's a great review, but here's a great review, or someone liked this, someone hated this, but I don't really walk away from much of a sense of how does it play. How does this game really play? But walking away from something like Watch It Played, you do know exactly how this game is played. You know that these are the rules. You know some basic strategy, and you might be able to see, oh, I would really love to play this. And I thought, oh, this is kind of fun, because I have a lot of games right now which I have, and would love to do. They haven't. Some of them have actually had playthroughs thanks to Will Wheaton and his tabletop series, and some haven't. And I thought, oh well, this would be really cool. Some of them are ones he might do ones he's gonna do in the future, and I thought, it'd be really fun. It's both these series. I could do something a little bit with both these series, so that I could bring in other people who don't know how to play the game, people who haven't played the game before, so that basically while you're learning, these people are learning too, and they might not be experts, to see that mistakes can be made even by a new player, and to kind of get not only my perspective as somebody who is a heavy gamer, but maybe somebody who isn't a gamer, so that if you're kind of gamer curious and you would really like to get to know what these are like, then you would have the chance to do so, which would be a lot of fun, I think, for both of us. It would be a lot of fun for me to make, and it would be a lot of fun for you guys to watch. The only problem is don't really have a camcorder that could work right. I know kind of the angle I want to do it at. I know kind of the formats. I have a bunch of games already that I would love to do with you, because there's a lot of games like there are a lot of games that are really, really fun, and I would love to kind of be able to play in front and stuff, but I think they would work. I mean, as much as, like, for instance, Will Wheaton has problems with some of the games that he says wouldn't quite work in his format. I don't know if they would or wouldn't, to be honest. It's kind of a hard thing to judge, really, but I think in the format I want to do it, it would be very easy to do. Dealing with all kinds of different games and, kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff that I've got planned and ideated for that. These vlogs, though, these vlogs are just my chance to kind of get people into doing other things, and to really kind of basically get to let the community see other aspects of being a geek that maybe they don't get to see. I mean, there are some really good, there are some really good places out there that have a lot. I mean, this week is Geek Week, of course, on the internet, and I thought I would add a little something to it. One of the biggest ones is Geek and Sundry, which of course is where tabletop is. It also has a lot of other stuff, and Geek and Sundry, of course, also has Geek and Sundry vlogs, where they actually do vlogs, which of course, which, to be honest, I had thought about putting an application in for them and actually doing a video or something, but I think I'd rather, I would love to do that, and it would give me a lot of exposure, but the thing I was finding was that, well, it's once every other week, and you guys might want more than that, and I don't know how. I didn't really, there wasn't enough information for me to say, okay, well, could I redirect them to this to my actual YouTube channel, and would they get mad at me for doing so, for having this YouTube channel, which I had before, I did it. I know they have said at one time that they may take people off the web and actually add them to the channel and whatnot. If they do, I might do special ones just for them. That was originally what I had thought about doing for Geek and Sundry Vlogs, is maybe doing like an original one for them, but then on my channel do a special one every day, so that so you don't have to wait like 2 weeks to get to see something else, but get some other stuff, and then do some, and like I said, and then make the one on Geek and Sundry Vlogs something special and something unique that'll give you a preview of what my vlogs are actually like. Yeah, this is starting to get a little long, but yeah, that's that too. One of the other things I would really like to do is that I really like the idea of giving something back to you viewers who actually see my videos, and through the advertising dollars give me some money back through that. I was thinking, one of the things I'm thinking about as far as that goes is holding some contests, which, like, for instance, basically if I get enough money from like a YouTube video, let's say I get more than enough money to get a game, and through one, and the next like I want to do a game series, and I've got, let's say I have all the stuff for it. This is kind of what the thought was, is that okay, I get enough money in revenue from it to actually have another copy of the game, or maybe to get a video game for like a video game review or something. And basically what I could do is save aside some of that money and actually like give you guys codes for a game, send out an actual copy of a game that that we've been playing, that I've been playing online, and that you guys are viewing, and think hey, then you get something too back for all of it, because it seems a little, because mostly to me it just seems a little unfair that that I or anyone else on YouTube would be able to earn any kind of money and then just not give you anything in return, because I think that's kind of unfair, and should give as well as get. And that's kind of my idea, is that we would probably do drawings weekly or monthly or something. I don't really know quite how we would do it, and maybe even have more down the line where, like, for instance, maybe certain videos still getting a lot of views even a year later, might decide to take that, to look at that revenue that I'm getting from it and say, okay, I'm going to take this and we're going to buy so many copies of this game. We're going to do a raffle and let all of you viewers basically get a chance to win this thing, because you guys obviously like it. And then either that, and the only thing I would probably do as far as that though would be, I would really want the people who do that though, who would be in the contest, to be somebody who actually doesn't have a game and would really like it, but they are having problems affording it. So I could actually give away to somebody who would actually use the game, because I feel kind of bad, I would feel kind of bad to kind of run a contest like that, and then find out that the person who won it is putting it up on eBay, and it's putting it up on eBay and is going to sell it for a bunch of money, and it's like, well, that's not really the purpose of that whole thing. It wasn't to make money off of that, but I would love to kind of do that. Maybe get some exclusives eventually for people. You never know what's going to happen. But like I said, that was one idea. In the same spirit, I'll be doing the same thing with maybe some Watch It Played videos. And there's a lot, I've played video games back from the Atari 2600 days. So, I can always pull up one of those back, or, an old Nintendo game, or Super Nintendo, because I have a lot of them myself. I just don't keep them up here. And if you look up, up here in the video, there's like a bunch of stuff up here. These are all PlayStation 2 games, some that I have. I'm very, very picky about the games I get. So unfortunately, I don't get the ones that most people kind of know and love. I'm very careful about what I buy and why I buy it. And so a lot of them are kind of weird things. I have a bunch of games off of Big Fish Games. If I could ever record those, I definitely would love to put those up on the channel because um, I just really love hidden object games, especially from them, and I've got some other games too from them. And of course, some Steam games. I would love to put those up, and like I said, just like with the board games, if I got enough revenue from them, I definitely would consider buying Steam codes for certain ones and giving them out as prizes. Because at least with Steam too, I can make sure that the person who gets it actually doesn't have it, and if they do, well then I can pick somebody else. I can find out their information and find out they do have it, and then find somebody who doesn't have it who would like to have it, and let that person have it. So like I said, it'll be something that, like I said, it's not, these prize ideas are not prizes to just have a prize, but to give something to somebody. So that's the ideas for that. I know I really hope I hadn't do that, but anyway, this is way longer than it normally would be. This will probably be about the length. 30 minutes will probably be the length of the two combined. I mean, I'm not going to give you like two really long, but maybe an hour combined. I don't know. We'll just see kind of what happens during the day, because I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of different things that I kind of like to do. Anyway, tomorrow is my birthday, but it is also a famous YouTuber's birthday as well. And I'm sure some of you probably know her, some of you probably don't. Anyway, Dodger Lee, who does a tremendous amount of work online. Her birthday is the same as mine, which is August 6th. And so basically, your first assignment, the assignment for this is for her birthday tomorrow on August 6th, to wish her a happy birthday. It's a really nice thing to do. She does a lot. She hosts a lot of shows on the Polaris Network. She does a lot of skit shows for all different kinds of websites. She has 2 channels herself. She has a news channel called Press Heart to Continue, where she also does playthroughs of games on, and she also has a daily vlog, although daily kind of is stretching it because she doesn't every day, but most days she does it, and it's that one's for dexterity bonus for that one, and she of course would love that. Her Twitter account, let me check really quick see what it is, because I can look it up real quick. Okay, and her Twitter account is and her account is, where is it? Oh, here it is. It's at DexBonus. I think that's the main one she uses. She would probably really appreciate it to hear somebody saying have a happy birthday. And so that's basically our assignment today, is to do something nice for somebody else, and mainly for her, because she does a lot of work and she's inspired me just as much as a lot of other people. She kind of inspired this. She semi-inspired this blog. I mean, the reality is I would have done it even if I had never met it, seen a single one of her videos. It's just, she's really great at what she does, and I figured I would let try to get as many people to say happy birthday as they can for her, because she does a lot of stuff on the internet, and she does, and for other people's channels as well as her own. And it's kind of a nice thing to do for somebody who has been special. And well, let's face it, it's Geek Week on YouTube. It's a really would be even extra special to do that for her. So anyway, tomorrow morning I should have the first video up for the series. Basically, what it will be is it will be probably 15 to 20 minutes, At the very end of it, I'll give you an assignment, just like I just did. Um, and the morning one will come with assignment, and the night one will actually be discussion of whatever the assignment was about. I haven't exactly decided what the first assignment is. I've got a couple ideas because there's a lot of things I just kind of have been itching to talk about, and I want to talk about it, and there's just nobody really talking about about it, and so I'm going to talk about it. And that simply is it. And I'm going to give you an assignment to kind of basically, the assignment is going to be to download and watch something for the first one. I won't tell you yet because I haven't decided what I'm going to have you download and watch. But mostly because there's a really great website that I go for to watch Japanese shows that never make it to the U.S. Some of them are ones that do make it into the U.S., but they're really destroyed by the time that they get here, which happens a lot because, yeah, that would be a whole rant one day about how America destroys anime, because they do, and that's one of the reasons why I'm one of those people who are purists and I have to watch my anime in Japan with English subtitles, because the English subtitles tend to do it a lot more justice, and then at least you get a real feel for what it really is supposed to, what the author really meant to have happen, rather than the Americanized version. Anyway, so that'll be that, and then that'll be up in the morning, and we'll have a discussion on the actual assignment at night, and so I'm hoping that people will like it. Anyway, so it's time to ask you to do the YouTube's thing and to if you liked it, subscribe to this channel, because there's going to be a lot of exciting things coming. Like I said, right now it's going to be just vlogs for a while, but the more of you who subscribe, then the more things are going to happen on this channel. Like at first I'm just going to be doing vlogs and maybe a couple playthroughs, but then I'm going to, if I get enough viewership and I can get, I can at least get some kind of income through it to actually, afford special stuff, I'm going to start doing playthroughs. I'm going to get a video camera, and I'll upgrade I'll upgrade my webcam, I'll upgrade my microphone, and I'm going to go get a webcam and start getting people to actually do playthroughs of games, and for you, and I'll shoot a whole series in which not only will you get the gameplay, but I also want you to see what people are thinking when they do, so that you can kind of, because sometimes it's not easy to see the strategy, and even like, for instance, well, I can keep going on this. I know, I'm sorry this is taking so long, but anyway, but one of the things is that, for instance, one of the reasons why I'm doing it is because, like, tabletop is really good in its own way, and that format is great, but then you can't really get in the mind of it's sometimes kind of hard to get in the mind of why they're doing it, why would I choose this? Why would I choose this action as a person? What strategy does that person have in mind? And is that really going to give them the result they want, or is it not? Because that's how, when I play a game, that is how I think. I always think not just about, okay, what is good for this turn, but I also think, what is my long-term goals for this game, and how can I accomplish them? Because that's how you really should do it. That's how I was for instance, like in chess. If you're a good chess player, that's how you play. You don't play just the turn. You play for a strategy to win. And it might mean that this one turn you sacrifice somebody, but to know that that sacrifice gets you that much closer to the goal, because you know that is how it acts. So that'll be it for now. Just please, if you're watching this video after August 6th, it'd be a little late for her birthday, so. But if you're watching this today, or you watch it tomorrow, then go ahead and offer her a happy birthday, because of course Dodger does a lot of work, great work. Like I said, you can watch earlier where to find her, and you can also find her. She also is part of the cast of the Co-Optional podcast, and as well, which I forgot to mention, which used to be the TGS podcast, which I listen on to. One of the things that you'll learn about me is that I do watch and listen to a lot of comments on games and stuff, because one of the ways to become a better designer is to learn where people go wrong, where they go right, what people think about it. And also to give your own opinion, and to look and be able to evaluate kind of other games, which is kind of my reason for doing, part of my reason for doing this, and also the fact that I just love games. So, we'll see what happens. Yeah. One other note, I'm hoping that by the end of this month that I can at the end of this month, where I live, I should say near where I live, because I'm not saying where I live anymore. In Dallas is Anime Expo, and I've never gone before. And I thought, this might be kind of fun, because I've never really done a convention before or anything. And I've always kind of wanted to, and I am planning on, branching out and starting to do conventions, because it's not only is it a great place for someone like me to, be able to interact with my future employer, possible future employers, but it's also a great place to kind of hear what other fans have to say. So as a designer, I can kind of keep in mind what players actually do want, rather than just doing what the hell, I want. Although there are going to be times when, as a designer, I'm going to be sticking to my guns and saying this is how it should be, because, this is my vision, and, you can say whether, you like it or not, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to necessarily follow what you say and say, yeah, that is exactly how I'm going to do it. Because, if I'm making a game, it's my game, it's not yours, and in the end, it's going to be my vision that wins out. And it just means, because you have to, as a designer, kind of pick and choose which battles to do. Anyway, this video is getting way too long. This should post up in it, and hopefully I'll be able to let you see this stuff. So anyway, please please subscribe, and the more of you that subscribe, then the more I can do with this channel, and you're going to see more and more stuff. Hopefully I can correct anything that goes wrong in these next few videos, because that has been one of the problems in the past. I just didn't really realize, because one of the things is I'm hearing impaired, so I keep my volume pretty loud when I play back stuff, and I had no idea that the volume, when it was kind of normalized, didn't really make a lot of sound, and so most of you probably didn't hear it, and you might not hear this very well. And if you don't, I would say just turn your volume up a little, shut everything else down that you can, and we'll see what happens when I actually get the new microphone too, because when I can afford it, I definitely will switch, because I found one that sounds amazing, and it's a really good microphone. It's more than the other microphone I had, but it's really great quality, and it's worth it for that price, and to give you guys the chance to hear my voice better. Anyway, this is about to hit the 45-minute mark, and I think that's more than enough time for this one. Tune in tomorrow, and I'm going to give you a morning vlog with an assignment, and then at night we're going to discuss that assignment, and like I said, it's going to be watching something. That's all I can tell you for now, but get ready to watch an episode or two of the show. Anyway, so I'm going to go, and hopefully you YouTubers will actually start listening and watching this channel, and we can actually make this into something kind of fun and unique and special, and who knows, might even get a prize out of it too, which hey, there aren't very many channels out there that are giving away prizes, so hope you enjoy that. Okay, well, bye. I'll see you tomorrow.